Okay, so today we're going to be doing the newer Whizbang, which I haven't done really since the first episode of this whole Whizbang gauntlet, where I kind of go through each one. I mean, both of them. I'm acting like there's more than two, but no, I'll go through both of them, and it's meant to be more like an episodic rivalry basis. Like every episode, I go in and say, I'll play with this one until I lose, then I'll play as that one until I lose, and kind of see which one does better. But because of how short these are, it's kind of better to do it on a dual episode basis. Like last episode we played as this one only, so like maybe from now I should call them, this is the boomer one because it's the older one, and this is the zoomer one because it's the newer one, just because everybody loves these terms. But basically last time we played as the boomer one and it lasted the whole episode whatever, and I think I lost the last game, so technically we would have rotated to the next one. So we're just continuing it into this episode, so we'll see how long this one gets to last, and then we have this as a backup if we lost as both during the course of one, just to be able to try that stupid innkeeper card. But basically, yeah, we're pitting these against each other, and obviously the defining factor could be me, that I make some sort of bad, stupid play or something. If it's somehow my fault, you shouldn't hold that against Whizbang, but still, it's Ner'zhul bundle. Wait, this is the we have Ner'zhul at home. Ner'zhul at home. I've been begging for the one in the armor, and you give me the thirst trap shaman fucking clown one, dude. What is that? What the fuck is that one? It's like they try to clown me with this game sometimes. Like, just all the obvious things that you should have, you don't have. And then instead you have like Death Metal King and all this stupid stuff, right? That has no value to it. So we'll go through both of these. I don't know where I got that many packs from. Or we should even see like what the twist mode is going to be. 100 nature damage is actually, you don't know really what you're gonna get. That's the one thing with it. Since it's Whizbang, it could be just about anything, but you should always just go for the generic ones anyway. Like, yeah, see, 6 in a row. That must have been with the other Whizbang, which you could say is maybe not like a big deal, especially at this low rank. Like, of course, you're going to win every game anyway. It's going to last like the whole month, let alone the whole episode per week, right? That you're going to last with one, but it is kind of a little rivalry to see which one does better and things like that. So you are trying to go between them, but it doesn't mean I'm going to lose on purpose just to see them. And we lost to like some crazy priest thing, I think, with like the slimes and cycling a death rattle and things like that. Those packs are so anticlimactic, as good as they might be, because why did I just randomly get these though? It's not like catch up, but it's not like I stopped playing for a long time. It's only been a week. Like, we've been doing this one on a regular basis, right? Or am I somehow on the wrong thing? Not that I mind them. I mean, that is a lot, and we could use that as dust, but that's also the beauty of what Whizbang does for you, where you don't need dust because, or I mean, you don't need to, you know, you get so much variety without. We have Sif at home, Sif from fucking Dark Souls there. No, but it's like, you don't need anything because, you know, you just craft one legendary, and that's so many decks in one. The one thing that's been confusing that nobody really had a consensus on, because they said, oh, they were going to change it for the twist mode or because of some twist mode, which really has nothing to do with it because you're using it in wild anyway, is that what does Whizbang actually give you? The old one, the boomer one. And what he gives you is some random cards from, you know, like years ago, like Vile Spine Slayer and stuff. I thought the whole point of him, even over time, is that he's supposed to keep giving you the current standard deck recipes, right? That's what I thought it would be. I guess you could just manually do it, since this game is so anything fun they have to ruin and right bug out. Like when I try to use Renounced Darkness, they fuck that up and you're not actually able to do it during the twist mode or whatever. But the point being that, Jesus Christ, the point being that you can't actually use it in the context of, like, you could manually just make every deck recipe and then have your own little roulette kind of thing. You use like some sort of a whatever, pick the thing for me app online or something, and then it chooses which one to use. So that would effectively be the Whizbang bootleg thing you could do, since theirs just doesn't work properly apparently. In less than a month. I don't know why they still do that. Why not just leave the same one active until the next one comes out? Yeah, we've only used this one, I think, one session, and I don't remember if I lost with it or if we just ended the episode, because I think we might have actually lost, because we just ended and then we moved back to the next one. So it should almost be like this, where even between episodes, it's not that every episode one gets each life, each one gets one life, but if it continues, like if I don't lose and I go on a win streak with this one, I should continue with it into the next episode. And of course, even getting the silver 1 is the big accomplishment, but Whizbang is actually better than most of my, you know, with any of my gimmick decks in the course of a month and playing so little, right? That ends up being about as far as we typically get, whether because they're so bad or because I don't play enough. But what ends up happening is this deck is heroic, which I'm not even sure what that means. We might have actually gotten this one before though, or it has like all those characters in it, like the Reno and his crew and everybody pictured on there, obviously. So will it have Elise Trailblazer, the one that puts the legendary Ungoro pack in my deck, because that's one that I use anyway. And I can't remember if favoriting stuff really changes the hero in this context when Whizbang gives it to you. I feel like it might, or he might be using the same thing. Right, you would never know. Or no, you would know. It actually tells... With this one, it tells you. With the other one, the Boomer one, it doesn't tell you. Because it's like... you know, that one just gives you the deck. So only you would know. So you could be using effectively the same deck, though. Anyway, that has like 7 of these or whatever it is. So even as good as this is, and it has a lot of fun ideas, I do wish there were more homogenous between the classes, like where... You take an idea, but you apply it to every class, not just one. Like, oh, this deck has 2 of every legendary, 2 copies of legendaries, but only for hunters or something like that, right? Like, why restrict that? Some of them make sense because it's like 20 card deck for a warlock where you're trying to get through it as quickly as possible to get like the effect of the chef and all these kind of ones that reward you for discarding cards and having an empty deck. But that was one of the ones we saw last time. I can't remember. Last time we played it, not last episode, so I don't even remember. It's been like 2 weeks or maybe more. But yeah, we could tally up at the end which Whizbang actually won between the whole month, like which one won more games. But maybe I gave that other one too many chances, because like we would always start with that one at the beginning. Like we'll start with the older Whizbang, right? And then we'll lose by the end of the episode, or we won't. So then the next episode I'll continue with the same one again. I should, you know, obviously this makes more sense to rotate and give them both a chance. But that one did lose the end of the last episode too. You discover a dragon. If you're holding a dragon, deal 3. A Hazard Drake is always a classic thing. I don't know. You know, fuck it, let's do it. Then we'll make our consecration stronger and stuff too. And of course, a lot of these people might be bots. All these kind of theories people come up with. Well, he's using a mech, so he must be a bot. Or he has that gear card back, so he must be a bot. A lot of people really believe that too. Whenever they had that card back with the gear on it, they thought, oh, that's Blizzard's way of telling you that they're a bot. Because there would be a lot of people who would use that. I'm not sure if that was ever confirmed to be true or not, but no, I love how they fuck up all the fun cards in the game. Like, why would they have any reason to mess around with the old Whizbang now? Right, like you're harassing this Boomer for no reason. And then why would they have any reason to mess with, mess with the other dude? The Reno Jackson, obviously. Which I don't know whether that means we're going to actually be able to get the effect if we have duplicates or not. But, like with the Renounced Darkness, it's notorious in terms of these, like, random decks. It's notorious for having multiple copies of the same thing, so you would think you wouldn't have them here, but because it's meant for that. But yeah, I can't believe they're clowning me with this Nurzul stuff. There's one in like one of the Battlegrounds duels modes or something too, and now you get like a shirtless Thirst Trap Shaman, but now you don't. If your deck has no duplicates, duplicate your hand. That's cool, but I won't have room for it, so. You could be really troll with this though too, like, you know, you'll get a second Reno and you can fucking slow pace them. But no, I've been dying for that one in the Frost Armor, like the one, they even have it too. They're really trolling you at this point with the game. They show you in the Death Knight thing to unlock him, right? The campaign thing you have to do to unlock him. The Death Knight class, they show you Nurzul in the armor talking to Arthas, right? The real Lich King. And so he's talking and then he says, now we're one. But then you don't get that. You don't get that one. Like the one up on the throne in the block of ice. Basically that one in the armor. They show it to you for a second, but then he combines with you or whatever. And then you become the other Lich King one that you have as the base icon. And now they have this one. So like, they'll do every version of Nurzul except for the one that you actually want. 5/5 Defender Baton. If you've healed this turn, summon another. I guess we can wait. Yeah, well, guess what heal we'll do with that, though? We'll do fucking Reno Jackson with that, even though we can't afford it. I probably haven't used Reno in a deck in a super long time, except for probably the same one that we got the first time we used this. So I can't remember if we actually lost with this guy or not, though. The Zoomer Whizbang. We may have, but I can't remember. But no, generally this seems pretty good too. I mean, they're both pretty good, especially if the other one gave you standard decks. But this one's fun factor is even higher because you get to do all these crazy things that either don't exist or there's so much limitless potential for this kind of thing. So at least that's one thing I've always loved about Hearthstone, despite its flaws and my lack of interest in the current meta or whatever the case may be, right? It's the fact that ultimately you're in a position where you almost don't even have to do anything, but you should probably keep the pressure on still. They've always had like a high fun factor level because I should have probably just done that anyway. You know, they have so many of these fun cards. Insert the queue now where I say them every episode. Renounced Darkness, Explorer Ngoro, Zen Azari. You know, again, they're not necessarily good. They're just fun and interesting and unique mechanics and ideas. But that's the thing that'll always stand the test of time for me. Like, those things are evergreen because they're so fun. And if I was like a bigger creator or something, like how I used to do those Yu-Gi-Oh! I hosted my own Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament type stuff. Not that I was that big then either. But just like with all these theme gimmick sort of fun decks, like, oh, you have to use a deck from the show that's as bad as what they use. And some of the custom cards, right, that were different effects. Some of them, they don't exist in real life and stuff like that. So here you would have to use like, you have to use one of those decks. So like you have a group of X number of people. One of them uses Renounce, one of them uses Ungoro, one of them uses Zinazari, one of them uses Whizbang the Zoomer, one of them uses Whizbang the Boomer, and whoever wins wins. And it, sure, some of them might seem better than others, but at the same time, right, they're all equally gimmicky and fun. So may the best deck win or may the best player win. So it creates that fun factor where you're not using the best thing, you're trying to make the best of what you have, right? Don't use the best resources, make the best of the resources that you're given, kind of a thing. So that creates a fun dynamic where it's random sort of in two senses, that you don't get to choose which one you get, maybe, and you also don't get to choose what you get with it, where most of them are giving you, you know, they're all giving you random stuff too on top of that. So that's the kind of tournament format I would do, right? Not where you're using the best decks, but you're limited to have to use the worst ones or very specific limited ones. You would think I would like discover type effects and things like that more because of that, but or like even, you know, you'd say, oh, you should like rogue or you should like priest because of that, because they steal, you know, like your opponent's cards, and there's a sense of randomness to that. But it's not like uniform. See, I like the uniform way that those other cards do it, that they do it to your whole deck or whatever. Whereas with them, they're kind of like posers, right? They're wannabes. If you want to be a priest or a rogue, just use one of those cards and do some, you know, literally become one as a, you know, change your class all the way. Don't do this half identity confused type shit. Don't do that yet. I almost don't want to over commit stuff, but wait, oh, we just win. I'm not even paying attention as I'm going on. A simple request. So again, we're beating up on these bots of bronze, whatever, but sometimes we do lose to them, so we never know whether they're actually bots or not. So yeah, we'll go with this one, and this should basically last the whole episode because, again, that would be like 5 games or something, but also it's going to be so good. So if he doesn't lose, then I'll continue as him next time until he does lose, rather than switching over, right?
You asked for it.
Morphing card. Each turn in your hand transform into a random playable mage or neutral card. I almost wish it wasn't neutral, or maybe there'll be something in this that isn't one of those. So like, why wouldn't you mulligan? Yes, of course, the most advanced mulligan strategy ever. Like, I have a good feeling about this morphing card. Yeah, at least that acknowledges, not that you wouldn't know that. Wonderful deck. Cards in this. See, you could, this is a perfect example. You could do this same idea with every single class, right? Every turn, this turns into a paladin card or a neutral card, right? For them. Or it could be even between all of them. Like it transforms into a random class card, period. And so you have no class identity at all. Wait, oh, it's even playable too, so this is actually badass. Oh wow, this one could actually be good because you'll always be guaranteed to have a good curve. After it takes damage, 1 damage, destroy it. Add a 1, 2, and 3.
It's out on me.
I mean, you know, we could do a little synergy here. We get a little fucking... Oh shit, dude. Look at that. The Undertakers are back. What the one RP name I would use for like my team in NBA 2K or something on my team for whatever reason. The Undertakers. Like it's another sports reference to like something from fucking wrestling or something, but I don't know. Even it just I couldn't come up with a good name, so I just would use that. And I would always use Seattle because the Seattle Supersonics no longer exist. So kind of as a sort of tribute to them. Or it doesn't say like at the beginning of a card, just each turn this is in your hand, but it wasn't in my hand. It just whatever. Like you would think it might have to wait to the beginning of next turn, but deal 1 damage to the minions next to it. Discover a temporary, but I won't be able to play it. Add a lackey. Kind of a weird turn. But no, I'm a big fan of the curve thing. Or wait a second. Oh, they don't keep changing, right? Obviously, it'll... Wait. Oh, I get it. They will keep changing, but it'll be like... They'll be playable, but it doesn't mean they'll be exactly the perfect curve. It could be the curve you're at or lower, right? Which is still good. But no, the fun factor on this is high, and before they fuck it up and get rid of some of these decks, like one of them will be too overpowered, and then it'll be like it'll beat a legend rank 1 deck, and then people will complain like, oh, you know, discover new hero power, which we would do almost just for the fun factor of it. This can be really good. Sunken Sweeper, I doubt we're gonna get to the point of being able to really do that. So that should be fine, and then we get to... I don't really know what I would want here. Or no, a totem would be objectively probably better than that, though. Because we don't get any synergy from that otherwise. I don't know really how to play this because we're just not in control of what I'm doing. This is like the maximum fun factor deck, actually, because it's random, not just in the outset, like what, you know, re-roll your whole deck into this, but you're re-rolling your hand and everything every single turn. That's almost the pity that you can't choose which one you get to use. But then everybody would use the same one over and over that they think is the best, or I would use the one that I think is the most fun, but... Alright, this is good. Discover Mage Minion. If your deck has no minions, well, of course, that has nothing, really. Or, I mean, those obviously count as spells, I guess, but... Or does it even? It does. I don't even know what it counts as. It's just nothing. At the end of your turn, draw a secret, which you won't have one. That's the one weakness of this, is anything that says get something from your deck, unless it just says draw cards, or unless it says get spells, which I don't even think they're considered spells. It would be a position where you can't benefit from that. Now, these will actually be static cards, so you definitely shouldn't worry about those until you absolutely have to, right? Discover a spell from any class, it costs 1 less. If you cast a spell while holding this, I'm going to copy of it. Okay. I mean, again, a lot of this is just about playing the curve plays, because you're going to have a situation to be able to do that. Everything will be a curve play in some way, right? Because it's going to be something you can at least play, period. It might not be the perfect one, but that is a very strong effect, actually. Because again, regardless of what the card is going to be, it's not going to put you in a weird situation with some of these decks that you get random cards that you can't ever play, or you're never going to benefit from them. If it's not good, you can just wait till the next turn and re-roll it. If it is good, you're guaranteed to be able to play it right then and there. So very, very interesting. I think there's about 20 decks that he has in his Zoomer mindset here. This is what I mean, though. This is the kind of card I was waiting for. Like, give me another Renounced Darkness-esque card, and this is kind of what it is, right? Something so transformative, and I love that this game has sort of embraced that. See, that one's garbage. Freeze a minion, combo. I don't know what to even do. Heal for 8, enemy minions cost health instead of... That could be just annoying to use against him, sure. Discover a copy of another spell you've cast this game. Let's just do that. Discover another spell. we're kind of running into the Renounced Darkness problem, though, speaking of which, with this, we're like burning through our cards so fast, though, there's no sense of permanence to this, even though you're discovering more and generating more and stuff like that. Summon a copy of your highest cost minion. I think this could probably be good. I don't know how much Icebox is going to come into play. Sure, let's just do that, just for the fuck of it. Not that it really matters. Or in fact, that could even hurt you, though, because he has 30 health, so we could just let him do whatever he wants. So that could have actually been a terrible idea. I'm acting like that's going to somehow hinder him, but it's actually going to help him. You know, he can afford to use 10 health to summon a 10 cost or something. It's like the wrong time to play it. But no, I have 2 Pyroblasts in my hand that are going to... But I guess he's just not going to have anything, or he's kind of worried about it for no reason. Oh, look, we got the Imp Deck Synergy over here. We're going to recreate the one that got us to Wild Legend almost. Diamond 3 or something, but it feels like it could have gone there, but you kind of got hard stuck right at Diamond 3 where, you know, clearly that's as far as it could have possibly gone, and it's not just my fault. Take control of an enemy secret. I'm going to copy of it. That's not really very worthwhile either. I don't know what the point of any of this is going to be.
Well played.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's all you have to do to convince me you're not a bot. Just emote once at some weird random time, or do it in kind of a snarky way, even though clearly a bot could do that. Okay, that'll at least be good.
That was a mistake.
Amazing.
Greetings,
So
friend.
now, deal 4 damage. If you control a secret, summon a copy of this. Okay, you obviously have to do that.
I intend.
You can afford to do the dormant one, I guess, this turn then. I don't know what good that's really going to do for me. Unless I get some Death Rattle sort of cycling stuff. But we started off with the synergy right away. With the Undertaker and the fucking... whatever. The Death Rattle little runic thing. What was it? A runic egg? I forget what that thing is considered. I never really pay attention to card names, you know, I just care more about what they do. Name for function, absolutist tendency. Like, it doesn't matter what you're called, it matters what you do. Or what something is called. It's like, it would be a philosophy that goes against, like, don't name this thing after the person who discovered it, right? Like, you name a telescope after the guy who made it, or something like that, right? Some scientific invention. No, you would call it what it does, right?
This document looks legally binding.
So now here, I love all these. Okay. If you played an elemental aster and so, oh shit, look at this. We're actually getting synergies that are totally random and I couldn't have planned for, or I couldn't have even known them myself. I shouldn't even worry about those. We have quite a strong board. All this is just coming together perfectly. But no, these decks actually could be pretty good. Although the standard here is still pretty low. But in the best case scenario, sure, they can be good. And now if he tries to attack into one of them, right? If he attacks the wrong one, but I guess he won't. Even if he attacks like the 4-1, that's still fine.
I intend to deceive.
And yeah, every card will show, oh, that's what it was, a morphing image. Like, we get the point, but you're gonna turn into a Grim Patron effect where it goes through like 100 of those animations in one turn. Somehow, like, just everything is a morphing card. Did you realize? Equip a 0/0 that casts helpful mage spells. This just feels like a good play because you obviously have the ability to take that out easily. Of course, my favorite effect of all time, but it took forever for them to add the keyword, obviously. I still would have preferred evasive, actually, because that seems like... Elusive was more like a fan term, but evasive was almost like their unofficial term by the game, because it always said, like, evasive Feywing or evasive something. Or, like, even this is evasive Worm. So maybe it'd be redundant to call it evasive again, but that's basically what they're calling it. They're saying, oh, this thing is evasive because it can't be targeted by spells or hero powers, but it's also elusive. Why? Oh, because it can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. So they've almost contradicted themselves. Like, where does it get its evasive word from, right? It's meant to mean the same thing, but it also, you know, like, I create a card that's called, like, Rushing Worgen, and what's its effect? Oh, it has Rush. Like, we get the point, but... Okay, this, deal 2 damage to a minion. It doesn't matter about the damage value, really. Oh, I fucked up, though, because I should have just played them both as a static play. But I'm basically out of cards, too, so someone's like, oh, I'm holding back because I might get something better next turn. Actually, a legitimate strategy, but probably I should have just done it. Make him wonder what this card is going to be, even though I'm left to wonder, too. But no, the one thing to manage and keep track of with this, right, like counting cards in poker would be count the number of cards that your opponents generated that they would get to keep that wouldn't be a morphing card. So like we had the 3, right, that Naga chick and a couple other ones, but that's actually relevant because those you could be aware of at any time, whereas the other ones you can't play around. But I love the whole idea of even trying to play around stuff in this game, period, with the number of discover effects and generation effects and all these kind of crazy things. Like, yeah, play around Whizbang with this deck and just like there's nothing you can do. Your opponent can't even telegraph what they're thinking or what they're gonna do because they don't know either. So it's like, okay, give me like an AoE. Own a random minion from your hand that costs 2 or less. Whenever you draw a card, transform it into a legendary minion.
You lack style.
I mean, it doesn't mean I lose necessarily right now, but I probably do lose. 6 plus 8. Probably he could buff something as well. Well, that is true. If I lose, then I do have to switch to the next one. So technically, we wouldn't be able to play this sexy Whizbang again. I mean, you would think I would like this one more, but then again, I wouldn't mind the other one if it just let me play the current decks, right? The current standard decks, which is really what the whole point of the card is supposed to be. So they should make 2 changes to it. They should make it actually work the way it was supposed to work, or the way that it used to work, where it would use a standard deck recipe, not just one from the last 10 years or whatever the fuck it's drawing from, like Vile Spine Slayer. I don't know what that would be a part of. But also, discover friendly minion die this game. Oh, but shuffling it isn't going to save me.
Can't do that.
And so basically what you have is a situation where you're basically able to change it so it uses the standard deck recipes currently, or even from the last 2 years, but I highly doubt one of those was from the last 2 years. Like the Vile Spine Slayer and some of the cards we were seeing, they seem to be from like way back, like Doomsday Project and stuff like that. But also, that was also one of my ideas, to make like a neutral hero card. I totally came up with that one. Not the exact card, but just whatever, the concept behind it. And so, what was I saying? The other change would be to be able to use it in standard as well, which for whatever reason you just can't do that. Again, even though the whole point is to use standard decks, which you could say, oh, that's why it works the way it does now, where it just uses some confused combination of stuff, because like, oh, of course you would use other decks because you're using it in wild, but it's supposed to be still drawing from the standard card pool, so it makes less sense even on 2 levels now. Let's actually see if there is one of those still. I'm always looking for one that would interest me here, that would get me to want to play Death Knight again, because that's how we started playing it. Like, oh, if there's a cool, I'll try to collect every portrait for them, which obviously we had done that on like a specific special account challenge just for that, right? And if I don't, like, basically it's like you're playing Death Knight for the first time because it had just come out, and then I'm trying to collect every Death Knight card and every Death Knight cosmetic, and if I fail to get one, like how I failed to get the guy from the Tavern Brawl, or what, not the Tavern Brawl, from the, what's it called, this stupid ass where you have to get 12 wins, right? And so I failed to do that, and then I had to delete my account, basically, like disenchant every card and just whatever, just stop playing Death Knight. So if we had continued that, I would have actually still been playing Death Knight even to now. But because I got one that objectively I couldn't get again, right, it's basically like I failed. At least a lot of the cards and stuff you can always get. You can always get because you can always do that because you're able to whatever, you can just craft it or something at any time. Okay, so what exactly is this one? Or no, this is, again, just some, see, like, what is this from? What expansion is this deck from? Reckham and Deckham. I have no idea what this is from, but doesn't mean that they're even bad or that they're not fun to play as, but you want to kind of understand a little better what you're doing. Forge costs 2 less, can be forged endlessly.
Enjoying the festivities?
Wait, what? Drag this to your deck, spend 2 for an upgrade. Cost 2, let's just get it just for whatever the fuck. We should have maybe gotten like a 3 cost, but we already have one, and we could just use this effect on them. We could use this effect on that. Backstage Bouncer. So many of their card ideas are like, again, PvZ Heroes level. They're both casual card games, by the way. This actually has less cards in the base deck than that game. Always the way to clown it, but basically deal 8 damage split among all enemies. This thing can be kind of annoying though. Like what were the 2 examples? Use PvZ Heroes to clown a game. That it has better cosmetics or something, better hero personality than the, you know, more hero voices than Magic the Gathering Arena, and it has more cards in its base decks than Hearthstone, which means even though it's a casual mobile game, it still is more complicated than that, arguably. If your taunt minions... Oh, in your hand though, what the fuck? Now, would the copy of it be... Would the copy of it be buffed as well, I wonder, into a copy of this specifically? So that actually might be very good. So let's see how long this one lasts again. So generally this one seems to have done better, but I've given it kind of more chances too, where I shouldn't do that. Like, I'll start with whatever one is still going, but it doesn't matter, no, but it kind of should matter still. Like, in the sake of an episode, if I lose with both, then I have to just end the episode, but in the sake of the bigger picture, you have to... I don't get it. Drag this to your deck and spend 2 mana, so it costs 2 less mana. So why does that even fucking matter? Okay, let's just try this effect and see if actually it'll do what I think it'll do. But then it won't be able to attack after that, obviously. It will be actually a 6/7, which is quite cute, and then we get another one. But yeah, I couldn't really tell you what this deck is from exactly, but it doesn't seem bad. It's not like I'm somebody who plays a lot of the standard deck recipes anyway. In fact, the only time I conspicuously did that was with that stupid imp one, where I don't just play standard decks, you know, period. So I don't know. It doesn't seem bad, but it seems... In fact, it must be relatively new if you're getting this, because... Or no, I got that from a different effect, though. From the Discover effect, though, so you wouldn't even know. Okay, he doesn't seem to be doing much of anything. At the end of your turn, summon a 6/7 boss that attacks a random enemy. And miniaturize, trigger the death rattle of random friendly mech. That one's just a taunt. Summon 2 1/1 boom bots. Warning, they may explode. Use a friendly mech. I guess we could still just do this one, but I'm kind of overcommitting to the board also. Let's maybe not do it. No, let's just do it though, so we get 3 fucking frogs over here. Oh, fuck. Maybe that's a sign then just not to do it. Here, now if this one dies, then we'll turn that one into the frog again. Having 3 6/6 frogs is a fucking death sentence here. Some kind of witch, curse, hex thing. Right? If we get you got to get them both to 6 health though too. Yeah, this thing is pretty good. That taunt buff is actually quite good because we're getting so many things that are taunts. Almost like this is a synergistic deck. I'm acting like this is a random one of like... Well, even the other one isn't necessarily random. Right, the Zoomer Whizbang can still give you like a pre-constructed deck. Like the Warlock one was just specifically what it was meant to be. Whereas the Mage one was obviously random all the way through. So this is going to have certain synergies to it that are intended. Give your taunt minions... Oh, shit. Trigger the death rattle of friendly mech, or... Let's maybe do this one first and then see what happens. Yeah, see, even if this is an older deck that wouldn't be considered that good now, it should still be good enough to get you through fucking bronze rank 3. Right, that's the whole idea behind it. And it doesn't even really matter that we win or not. Well, it does, but... You know, the fun factor is more important than the meta factor here, obviously. But if it did give you current ones, then they could be really good too, and you'd be having the best of both worlds. And you might say, oh, those standard deck recipes aren't always that good, but some of them are good enough to get to legend, arguably, like how we showed it with that one. Even in wild, which you would think would be a lot harder to do, right? We made a standard deck recipe, but then used it to get to diamond rank 3 in wild from bronze rank 10. And so maybe that's a very weird flex, but it still seems okay. Attacks a random enemy. Use a friendly mech when a copy of it attacks an enemy.
Explosions.
Even though it's frozen. And you got the boom bots too. And we can trigger the death rattle of that as well. Mini trigger the death rattle friendly mech. Oh, but that just summoned another bot. I wanted it to trigger the bot itself.
Your ancestors.
Astonishing.
Fuck. I mean, even if he does have a god tier deck, you would think this isn't going to happen. So we'll try to kill you with the boom bots just to BM, or you're gonna have some crazy shit still. Even if you AoE, you're kind of walking yourself into a death trap, especially even if that's ice block, you can still die. Right, one of the ways you would discover originally early on in Hearthstone, like, oh, secrets don't work on your own turn if you somehow had damage dealt to them, which I think I discovered that somehow, like, from that mine. I was playing, like, the Iron Juggernaut, and they drew it on their turn, even with Ice Block, and they still died. And it's like, you know, you don't think of it that way because that's normally not going to happen, especially at that stage in the game. Deal damage to all enemies equal to this minion's attack. I want to finish you off with the stupid bomb bot thing. Shifting Stroll, creating an ice block. What a perfect thing to get. Not that we haven't been benefiting from random shit anyway. Maybe I didn't have to really waste the weapon there then, but it doesn't matter. Now he'll freeze everything again, and then I won't be able to trigger it. But for all he knows, I might have another way to do that, or I could even do this. But you're in a dangerous zone of clogging up the board, which you never want to fill your board up all the way against a thing, against a mage, especially.
Your ancestors.
Astonishing.
You accept your own fate there. Let's see how much we actually get as BM damage. Or no, it doesn't let you do that. I swear it always used to. It would let you trigger all of them. Even though I was looking forward to playing the other Whizbang, it didn't earn its keep. So we do this little permadeath. Create a deck. Wait. Auto meta. So does that mean it's a standard one then? Is that what that proves? Okay, let's try it. Is this what I was trying to do last time to test it? Does it actually have that recipe in there? It does. So that maybe proves that okay, that at least proves that's a current deck. So maybe it's back to working normally, but it might draw from a bigger pool than what I realized. So that might still make sense. It's kind of flexing that, hey, we fixed it, or it's actually working as intended. Because that's such a fun thing to do then every expansion. Like, you know, next expansion I could play Whizbang again. Every expansion I could just start with doing that, where we get to try the new decks. Even though I have no interest in the meta or the current standard or anything like that, I can still do it because you just get to try and see what some of the new cards are like, what some of the new decks would be like, and just give yourself a lot of variety. You don't have to craft all the cards or anything. That's the whole beauty of it. It's great for casual players, like what I've become at least, or for even new players.
You give me strength.
Victory or death.
After using ability, okay. You know what, maybe we'll keep it in there just for the fun factor, though we'll be guaranteed to have it. Draw, or is this just not the same one that we just got? Draw a minion, give a +3/+3. Finale, play your last riff. I don't know. Give your hero +2 attack, you gain 2 armor, play your last riff. What does that mean though? Like a bonus if it's spent. What do you mean play? Oh, I see. If you have another one, that could actually be good. So in other words, if I just play this on turn 1, it'll automatically play that. Whenever your hero attacks, gain 3 armor. Okay, I don't know why I'm keeping Yogg other than just for the meme, but it's not even as fun, this one. They make too many versions of really the same character. So if I'm not mistaken, what am I not understanding with this finale effect? A bonus if this spends all your remaining mana. But it did. What do you mean? It did. Finale, play your last riff. What the fuck does that mean? So, wait, what the fuck interaction did we just see? Does it have to be the same one? I don't understand, but does that mean it'll automatically play that one, which is actually quite a strong thing? Oh, last, not like the last in your hand, but the last one that you previously played. See, that's unclear card text, 0 out of 10. There's a lot of card text in this game actually that can be interpreted like that. Last, as in last and remaining in my hand, but it's actually last. Okay. Fuck. That might have been too strong, but actually it'll still be strong regardless, because we could do it again here. Right, the same one that gave us +3/+3. So even though we're playing like a little bit slow, we at least have a very potentially strong hand here in the early game. If your armor changed this turn, draw 2 cards. If you forge a card this game, custom weapon. For the rest of the game, after your hero gains armor, they gain that much attack for that turn. Unfortunately, we won't be able to use this now because this could be okay, I guess. We could like do both of those. Might be the best that I really have here. Not really the strongest play, but that's okay. But yeah, this doesn't seem like a bad deck, but we just got up to maybe a bad starter. I got too enamored with those stupid riffs. If you forge a card, which I obviously haven't done, summon 5 1/1s with rush. When one dies, oh shit. You know, warriors were my original like most played class or favorite class because I especially love the armor warrior at the beginning, like with Justicar, like a very early Hearthstone deck that I really liked. I'm gonna 3/4 with taunt and give a 4/3 with rush. Play my last riff again. I don't know whether I want to do this or not though. I guess it seems fine, but 4/3, get a 5/5. This one's potentially more dangerous at least. They're kind of running out of cards at least though. Imagine doing that to a priest. Give it +2 health. Come on, bro. End of your turn, restore. Okay, we should be fine now though, because we've outlasted clearly the worst of what he's got, but we're kind of playing too slow. I don't know what you're really even meant to do with it. This isn't the same one, is it? It just happens to be a warrior deck. It could be maybe the same one. We just haven't seen some of the same cards that we had before, but this could actually be really good. But then again, I don't know. It seems like probably the only thing that'll give us some immediate results. So we kill this off, and we kill this off. Wait. Maybe I didn't do that exactly right. That's like kind of a... I don't even care about his healing as much. Well, I should still have probably done it. That's like a defile type play, but in a different way, you know, like it's the same concept, but you have to, well, it's what you would do before defile. Like you would try to get everything to the right value for it to work. Fuck. Come on, this is actually a pretty good deck. We don't deserve to lose with this. Fuck. This is when do priests use fucking stealth? Combine my 2 least favorite classes together. A rogue and a priest. That'd be like an arena nightmare in that Halloween thing that they do. We're in such a bad spot health wise. 5 damage to minion, then deal 5 split among all enemy minions. I feel like this is probably still better though because play your last riff as well. Or fuck. Wait, but I couldn't have done that, right? Well, I should have still strategically somehow planned out how to do that later, but damn it. We're gonna lose to these dinky 2/2s. And wait, why is this one not triggering its effect? I guess because it hasn't had to. Damn it. Am I really gonna lose to this, bro? But no, it doesn't give you the right feedback. Like, what if I'm playing someone who's using Whizbang too? You should know that. So they should update the old one to be able to do that. This is pretty good. I mean, I can't complain. Doesn't even matter. Like, just wait, what? Oh, if you forge it. Well, I could forge it right now and then still do it. That is quite a good value card. Maybe I shouldn't have just wasted both of them right there, but the rest of the game, but I needed some armor right now. If your armor changed, fuck. Oh, well, you certainly did me a favor there. After using an ability, cast 2 random spells to be fun. And of course, we could have done that too. Fill your hand with 1/1 tendrils. Force each enemy to attack each other. Take control. Well, I guess we didn't have really that much going on. Cast a random 1-cost spell. Draw a card. Burn my own deck. I'm doing that just sort of for the fun factor, not because we're desperate for something. Because you know, whatever. That probably wasn't the best thing to do. Okay, let's just see what we get from this. And of course, this can end up hurting you actually with the random effects that it does. I don't know, like what is it? Lifesteal is very important. Gain 2 armor is very important. Let's just do that. And then we can play a bunch of... Let's just try to spam armor more than anything. Draw 2 cards. Do this. Tradable, gain 8 armor. Okay, now at least we're farming our armor up. Damn, this deck is actually pretty cool. Fuck, I attacked too soon though. Premature attackulation. Minions attack is always equal to his health. Fine. I read these cards like I don't know what they do. Yeah, we've never seen this light spawn before. Go ahead, do your fucking inner fire shit. Just gain more armor. I don't really care. Shield slam. Well, let's just do it for the sake of casting 2 random spells. Even if that's like a troll BM type of thing, and we end up fucking ourselves over in the process. Fuck it, dude. I don't care. Deal 2 damage, Goblin Bomb. Imagine if you end up killing yourself, though, somehow, because it can totally do that. What did that say? Summon a random beast that died this game. Oh, or discover one. That was pretty close, though. But that's what priests lack, is sort of the clutch gene to finish you off in that sort of tight situation. Because, I mean, you're going to have 2 Mind Blasts just randomly. Or you got to use your stupid-ass Shadow Form type thing. I mean, you can use anything you want because it's wild. I'm acting like just because I'm restricted to standard deck somehow that they would be. Yeah, we did Yogg just for the fuck of it. We really didn't need to, or it didn't necessarily benefit us. I guess one of the spells it casted could have been good, but... Or even from the 10 rolls. But no, this Yogg can be pretty fun. It's just kind of not as fun as some of the other ones. We get a fucking totem from it. We just do that, do that, do that. Just do everything. I'm kind of playing still too slow. Like I could have maybe just tried to end it right there. Just so much fucking chaos, dude. This is what Yogg is all about, dude. Not the god of madness, the god of chaos. Hey, Nightmare. How's it going? Yeah, you missed yesterday's exciting stream where I tried to play a game that's about to go offline, but it was basically already offline because it just wouldn't work. That's happened like with some other game too, with what was that one? It was like some army chess thing that was supposed to be some chess variant. So I'm planning to play it on Saturday, and then, yeah, regimental chess. And then it just doesn't work, so I can't even do it. I like how I sometimes BM people just because I'm rambling on about something, not because I'm actually trying to BM them. So I'll just kind of wait, and they'll think it is. Yeah, we ended up just not even being able to do it at all. Or even if we do get to play it, the other downside of that format is that it'll be like a multiplayer only game that's dead. Like there'll be nobody to play against, so you just go in, oh, I paid $14.99 to play this game before it goes offline just to have a chance, and then nobody else is playing it, and there's no other modes to play really, like Crime Site basically. You missed something good that wouldn't happen anyway. Do you want to do a GTA Online on Wednesday? So like Wednesday night, I could do it on my PS5. That could be my Wednesday game. Because what's his other options? Minecraft I'm not going to do. Fortnite I kind of just did. I guess I did just do GTA 5 though too. In January, but I don't mind doing it again. We'll see like what's different with my character on there. Choose a damaged minion. I don't like demon hunters really, but deal 1 damage to all minions twice. Draw 1 card, get 2 random demons. Discover them instead. I don't know what to do with this. Choose a damaged minion. Summon a copy of it that goes dormant for 1 turn. Yeah, why do demon hunters have dormant as a mechanic? Because that's what their decks do. They'll put you to sleep. Haha. The best demon hunter card ever. It'll put you to sleep in real life. You don't think you can. PS5 Plus is gone. Okay, that's fine. What else would I even do on Wednesday? There was something I wanted to do. Now I can't even remember. Oh yeah, I was gonna do like Akinator, try to beat the Akinator. I did that yesterday actually on some recorded thing. Like I was trying to come up with something for it to guess, right? That it can't guess. That's how random my ideas are that I come up with. So like he's supposed to get, it's that stupid genie thing, right? So he's supposed to know everything. So you have to input like, he asks you certain questions and you have to try to beat it. Permadeath Akinator challenge. Summon 2 1/1s with rush. Deal 1 damage to all enemies. Shuffle your hand in your deck. I don't know what any of this is, dude. I would say Demon Hunter's like my least played class, but it's almost not fair because it wasn't out from the beginning, right? Unlike Priest and Rogue that have been, you know, I've probably played them just as little, but they've at least been out that long. Yeah, that's one thing about a console that's objectively garbage too, is the fact that you have to pay for that stuff to play stuff online. Although apparently for Rocket League you didn't have to, so I don't know why they get special treatment that way. Or everybody's getting mad in the comments of that I uploaded that Rocket League episode and everyone's getting mad, like talking shit like they're esports try-hard players who play the game every day and they watch it every day and they're like, you know, super into it, which is fine. It's like a double-edged sword. They're passionate about it, but it's like obviously I don't know what I'm doing. Even in the title of the stream and the video, I even put I'm not good at it, like I'm bad. And I'm playing for the first time in years, but everybody always wants to do that. That's almost like a form of bait content that you can do, like deliberately pretend to be bad at something, or just be me, I guess, haha. Or just like, damn, I don't know how to even do this. I guess we can just ignore it. Either pretend to be bad or just go in completely blind too. Fuck, I forgot to attack. And so if you do that, then you're gonna bait either outrage from people or advice from people, so then people like to, you know, people like to act like they're smarter than other people, even if it's purely from hindsight bias or whatever, right? They play it all day, every day, like with chess, for example, right? People like to act like they're better at chess than people, but then they don't bring up the fact that, oh, haha, you know, they play it all day, every day or something. And that's going to include me too, because of how much I played it. I'm only better than other people because I played more than they have. I don't know, this deck just doesn't interest me at all, really. Who do you think is going to win the FIDE candidates? I think it's going to be... Well, actually, it probably has to be Gukesh now, but I would have said Nepo, even though I didn't want it to be Nepo, because he's going to choke again against Ding and make my other prediction wrong, that Ding is going to lose. You would just think it should have been Nepo, because he's won the last 2. We could just do this, or we could do the Infernal. Kind of play on curve. Choose a damaged minion. Summon a copy of it that goes dormant. Now, what if I do that? It doesn't say summon a copy for you. It just says summon a copy, period. But I'm assuming it's for me. Yeah, I should almost end my whatever Wednesday thing soon anyway, because I was supposed to do Smite. I keep holding off these series for way too fucking long. But I kind of like the Wednesday format. It's just, these are two formats that I wouldn't normally do, where like I just play stuff randomly and leave it hanging, to the extent that, you know, like Saturday is like that, Friday is, or Wednesday is like that. Next demon you play costs 2 less. You should be able to do that. Miniaturize, discover a demon's head of stats and cost equal to this minion.
Just for me.
Which is only good with really the next one that you're gonna do. Talent costs 1 less for each card drawn this turn. Gain a random bonus effect for each different type. I don't think I've really had that many different types though. That one's gonna cost 3. Wait, what? Oh, I didn't realize that because I did that, it's even gonna affect the next one too. Damn, these decks can be pretty good though. I think we must have gotten, because of my complaints, clearly they would have fixed it. Since like last time, oh, I don't know how the card works. It doesn't work the way it used to anymore, blah, blah, blah. I kept complaining, so they must have fixed it because of that, even though they didn't fix the renounce bug in the twist mode when I tried to do that for the whole month. And even they didn't give me my Ner'zhul armor thing. They're gonna do it eventually, surely. Okay, so we can do like this one. Wait, what does this even do though? Yeah, give me another one. Like I need more of those. Dormant for 2 turns, dormant for 2 turns. Like fuck, dude. And it'll be, its stats and costs are the same anyway, so like you're doing it more so for the effect, obviously.
You will regret imprisoning me.
Finale, deal 2 damage.
I cannot reach that.
I guess this discovers foul spell. Deal 2, like Demon Hunter in this game is kind of face roll. Like just that's kind of how its original design was. Like just play everything that you have just as soon as you have it, just whatever, right? Like with no regard, you just kind of do whatever you want. That is unironically kind of how it feels, because you, or wait a second, could I have somehow done that with both maybe? No, wait, what? Oh no, it's dormant anyway, so no, you couldn't have. But it's a case where, you know, just play everything, just summon the 1/1s, even if it doesn't seem like a good value play, just go face, even if it doesn't seem right, because you would just make up for it with the power creep of your cards or something stupid like that, right? Just play everything you have all the time, get rewarded for playing it, for having less cards in your hand, playing the left-right card in your hand, like the outcast and stuff. Like it was such a face roll clown kind of thing. So now what you get to do here is, and of course that could hit face too. What a lethal that would be, but it's not going to be this turn, it'll be next turn. We should just win with this shit, dude. But no, I won't be able to even attack, that's the problem. If only I could do it with both of those, that would have been perfect. Give your hero +2 attack, then attack each enemy minion. Lifesteal, rush. Damn it, all this stuff is useless. Guess we could do another finale one for now. Fuck it, dude, I don't care. Deal 6 split along the lowest health enemies at the start of your hand. Okay. Hero power, deal 5 damage, but it's kind of too expensive for that to be worth it. Come on, we should easily have this if I just summon the 8/8 thing next turn. So this other Whizbang, the Boomer, is killing it. For now, you're going to get banned for using that like in your title. You can't use Boomer or Zoomer because it'll offend somebody. What's the difference between Gen Z and Zoomer even? Oh shit. Wait, but you're still taking damage, but you'll lifesteal. Am I actually gonna lose somehow now? But that'll deal 10, and then this will deal 6, and then that'll deal 8. You should easily win. Wait, this guy copied like Archimonde's line, right? Tremble, mortals in despair. Doom has come to this world. He says like Doom has come at least.
How is it even?
Fuck. I don't even know what's going on, and I don't really like that class, but I mean, we did win. Let's do like one more, I guess. Enjoy the deck. I like how it's at least proving that, hey, Whizbang works properly. Maybe other people would use it too, because like, see, I would use it at the beginning of the expansion anyway, just because it's a fun card and just because I like it. But people would use it. You know what? Maybe we'll. How long has it been? I guess I should do one more. You know, people would use it because this expansion actually has to do with Whizbang, but I certainly don't need an excuse. So now the only other wish list card would be make a different version of Renounced Darkness for like every class, or for every, I don't know, just some other way of doing the same thing.
You could not stop me then. You will not stop me now.
I will fight.
Oh, you don't even acknowledge him, dude? You're ghosting him? He's acknowledging you. Like, you couldn't stop me then. But no, it's like they're almost role-playing in this context. Like, we're just playing a card game, but they want an RP, like how they would have talked to each other. Your minions can't take more than 2 damage a game. And of course, like this, you always RP yourself as playing this. Like, oh, you're playing it like in a tavern inn against somebody else over the fireplace, over the hearth even, haha. And like, there was some way to like play it within WoW somehow, but it would open the game, right? There was like some add-on. Like, there should be a way to actually just simulate playing Hearthstone in there, but then I guess people would never leave WoW. Like, you should be able to play every Blizzard game within WoW, and WoW is like a launcher for them, rather than actually a game itself. You go to like a certain area in the world, and it's like a battleground, and it's like you're playing Heroes of the Storm. Divine Shield, draw a holy spell. Both players summon 3/3/3s, give yours rush. Now, why would that be good to do? How would that help me in any way? I don't get it. There must be a way to buff them that would make it worth it. You know, combo with a buff. Your minions can't take more than 2 damage at a time. Give a friend. That is actually a really good mechanic. There's a couple of paladin cards like that, right? That it really makes sense for them. There's that one stupid hero that's kind of like that too, right? I can't remember the name of it, or it might be the same chick actually. No, I don't think it is. There's some hero that has that as a base effect, right? You can't take more than X amount of damage per thing. I mean, you could make 6 of these coming up, but I don't see the point. Your left, or it's good if like their board is full, I guess. Then they won't be able to summon them. Your left and right minion has plus attack. I guess I should just do one of these because nothing else is happening anyway. Fun and interactive turn, by the way. Like, it didn't really accomplish anything. But no, if you could do like both of them, then you summon 6 of them, then you buff them all together, like an AoE buff, then you could trade into all those properly. Yeah, that's like the double-edged sword of certain passionate communities. You see that even with WoW. You see that with Paths of Exile. Apparently, you see that with, you know, potential stuff like that. Like, I can respect the high-level standards. In fact, if anything, I've been the one who's been called an elitist in the past. Right? Like, I hold everything to high standards and I talk shit about myself or something. But the point is that... you have to kind of still realize that the state at which you're doing something. Like, and in a way, that's kind of like an excuse. Like, oh, it just means like, oh, I'm playing casually or something. But... there is a sense like you're playing a game for the first time blind, and you're not really trying to prove anything with it, and whatever, I still do like a first playthrough permadeath, but not really to prove something, but that still holds it to a high standard. So it's kind of like, if you're playing something blind, right, a lot of the stuff that would be obvious to other people who have played the game more and stuff like that, that kind of speaks for itself. So that's part of the fun. Like, yes, anybody could figure something out, or anybody could look something up, but that's kind of what you're trying to embrace and enjoy. And it's not really even proving anything. It's just you want to have a fresh, raw experience. So it's like people confusing 2 different things, right? They're confusing the mindset that they use for the end game. It's like a job versus a game kind of mentality, right? They're confusing the mentality they would bring to the end game, or some sort of meta part of the game, to just simply trying to play the game and experience it for the first time, right? Like, oh, you're playing Ocarina of Time for the first time, but oh, people have speedran this game faster than you beat the Deku Tree. But you're not really trying to do that at that point, right? Maybe you will later once you beat it or something like that, but you don't want to taint your first experience by rushing through it. So it's the same thing when you look up advice or something like that on a first playthrough, or... right, in the same sort of esports or competitive context, it's like you're playing chess or something for the first time, or League or something, Rocket League, and you're like, oh, you should do this trick shot, or you should do this, you should know how this thing works, but it's like, you know what I mean? It's kind of a situation where you're able to, oh shit. That's really good. What the fuck? Costs 1 less for you. You don't even need it to cost 1. What the fuck? That's like one of those Kazakus moments. You just get exactly what you need. But my point is that, yeah, like you're not necessarily trying to do anything with that. You're just playing it just to play it and have that raw initial experience, and then you can always do that stuff later. Or, again, any game that is competitive and has a competitive scene, people will look at it like, oh, everyone must play it that way or must be trying to play it that way. It doesn't always have to be such a zero-sum process like that. Next holy spell costs 2 less. I guess you could do that. Let's just go face, because I don't even know what's going on with this. Why not just snake oil salesman? Like, you get a snake oil, but it's sort of buying into the propaganda with his name, that it believes in miracles. But no, I've been doing it that way too. Like, I don't even plan what I do on Wednesday and Saturday. I literally just assign them on a whim, like right before.
Everybody needs a cast.
So I've done anything from playing chess over the board with a webcam to trying to solve a Rubik's Cube to trying to fucking do my Kindle Scribe, like just completely random shit. And I could choose between a pool of those things. I've used every single console that I have, right, for a different thing. So I did Rocket League PS5, then Red Dead PS3, Starfield Xbox Series S, and then I did Nintendo Switch. I just kind of derped around. I didn't even really play anything. And so the point is that now I kind of have opened the door. Like, I could do it with any of them, but
I will not forsake.
I could go back through any of those. I could go back and do another writing stream with that. I could do that's actually not even that good of a play. Deal 0.
I don't have enough mana.
What?
Be reborn.
I don't have enough mana.
Fuck. That's a good BM play. Just do it to their face before you're about to kill them. Shoot a blank. But no, so we've done all the consoles, so now I've opened the door. Okay, I could do something random on any of those consoles. Or, oh, I could do another... I could do a puzzle instead of a Rubik's Cube or try to finish the Rubik's Cube. Or I could do something else like, whatever, the Kindle Scribe or something similar, like on a webcam context. He's not in a great position, really, but I don't know exactly what you're supposed to do with this, of course. Give a friendly minion +2/+2. Deal its attacks to all other minions. Oh, shit. Damn, the AoEs in this are god level, dude. What the fuck? Resurrected 2, 3, and 4. You could trade that, but you actually can't trade it. Let's just BM him once there. Oh, I should have hit him in the face, though. Fuck. Call that one the Dan Schneider when the kid blows his nose on the girl's face and they say that's part of his phallic imagery intention. One of the dumbest, most hilarious moments ever from anything. You're watching episode 1 of the Quiet on Set thing, right? And they're using a scene. Look, I'm not saying the guy isn't bad or didn't do something wrong, but they're using a scene of the kid with a big nose, right? From back in the day. And this is what they want to use as their evidence for his wrongdoing in the first episode. The kid has a big nose and he sneezes on somebody, and now they're making that into some sort of innuendo. Like, dude, the joke is that he has a big nose, like Pinocchio or something, and the joke is that he's sneezing, like physical comedy humor. Like, oh wow, that's gross, so that's funny. Like spilling a drink on somebody or throwing a pie on somebody's face. But they're trying to associate. So yeah, some comedy skit where you throw a pie in someone's face and then they lick some of the cream off. Like, hey, that's actually good. Like, I don't mind that you threw it in my face, or I'm trying to make the most of it. And you'll say, oh, that's somehow, innuendo too. Like, come on, man. It could be if you really want it to be, but that just seems like a stretch. And for that to be in the first episode, within like the first half hour of it, I feel like it's kind of very weak. And I'm kind of making fun of just the whole premise of it. Okay, what else do we have here? +1 attack. I don't know. Should be almost lethal, or it might be actually. I've not been the best at math. Perfect honorable kill. I haven't used these titans too much either. Like, I think the only one I really used was a priest one, right, in that one deck I made for the underplayed class round robin thing. But basically my overall point with that was, you know what, we should do one more just to try to get to silver. No, whatever. That's fine. But no, my point was that some of these gaming communities are like very competitive, and that's good, right? But that doesn't mean that that applies necessarily to the low level or to different things that you're trying to do with it. Especially, I don't like it with like sort of a blind first playthrough, right? You would never say that with a single player game. Like, oh, no, I guess people would in this day and age, but still, like somebody's playing again some random old classic game like Super Mario World or whatever, right? You're not going to say, oh, did you know? At least not in the way that people treat it. Like, did you know? Why is it an uneven 641? That's so ugly. You know, oh, did you know there's some secret optimal thing to do and you should have done that? And how could you have not known how this works? Right? You wouldn't treat that as much with a single player game. You'd be more like, oh, you know, whatever. It is what it is, and you're just trying to have your blind first experience. But whenever something is multiplayer, that kind of overlaps. Like if you try to treat it that way, you know, do a blind first playthrough of whatever online multiplayer game, that's how people would treat it. So I just find that interesting that it sort of corrupts the sort of pure base enjoyment that you can have with something, that they don't want you to have that. They want you to skip ahead and be as cynical and zero sum and metagaming as they are, which is still fine to do. Once you played it for a certain amount of time or beaten it or whatever, get to max level, right, then I can understand. But not everybody is as entrenched and ingrained, right? Like it's somebody who's a fan of something who can't imagine somebody not being as big and into it as they are, or assumes that everybody's like that with that and nothing else, and they're, you know, you're not just trying it out for one time. No, everybody is as crazy about it as you are. Okay, see you tomorrow.